Guys, it's Dave, and if you're seeing me in my truck on the weekend, that probably means that it's vlog time. So today, we're heading back out to D14, which is awesome because I love going out there. You know, it's one of my favorite fields to play at, like pretty much anywhere. And I've played all up and down the West Coast. I've played, you know, pretty much everywhere here in Texas at this point, minus a couple of places in like the Austin area I haven't gotten to hit up yet. One of these days I'm gonna make it out to Texas Paintball and see what's going on. That place sounds really cool. But we're gonna take some pictures today. That's not so fun for you guys, especially because I can't really film it since some of it is like NDA secret squirrel stuff that we can't talk about yet. So instead, I thought today's vlog might be a little bit more interesting if on the way to the field, I prop this camera up and just start talking at you about cool stuff that's going on in the city right now. Oh, camera fell over. Camera down. Nobody wants that. So I'm going to make a quick pit stop up here at the gas station and grab me some liquid sleep, as I refer to it, ye old Red Bull. It is a time I deem way too early o'clock in the morning, which many in Airsoft are familiar with. And then we're going to start talking about some cool stuff, so see you guys in a second. And we're back. Little liquid caffeine, because it is necessary this early in the morning. Some of you guys are coffee drinkers. I can never do coffee, but Rockstar is my jam. So with that underway, let's get down to business. Let's talk about all the cool new stuff that got announced this week. You guys know what the big one is. Starts with the G, rhymes the clock. I'm gonna save that one for the end. So I got some thoughts. But the other big one that I actually, had I not just been up at way too early in the morning this morning, probably wouldn't have seen happen at the time that it was supposed to happen. But KWA announced their new Ronin line of AEGs, and that's really cool. That's a really exciting piece of news to come out of festivities this weekend. And so the exciting thing about the KWA Ronin is that it's a new take on their VM4 and their RM4. For those of you that have been around for like the last year or so, you guys are familiar with the VM4 and the RM4 line of AEGs. The VM4s have the adjustable spring guide in the back that give them crazy consistent adjustable FPS. Other companies have tried to do the adjustable FPS thing before, and the big problem with it every time is that your FPS range is way too wide and your shot-to-shot consistency is usually garbage. You know, there are some notable standouts. G&G's F2000 is particularly great in terms of the performance, in my experience. I've definitely read some mixed things on the internet, but the one that I owned, because I did own one for a little while, was awesome. And in fact, actually, had it been a little bit more receptive to magazines universally, probably wouldn't have been so easy. The RM4 though has been around for a little while. It's actually older than the VM4 because the VM4 is kind of like they took, you know, a step forward with the RM4 and then kind of like went, you know, what if we kind of go back a little bit, take out this one cool feature, but then make the rest of the gun rock solid. And instead of adjustable FPS with the RM4, you've got recoil, which is super cool. Everybody loves recoil. I love recoil. I'll be honest with you, the RM4s that I've played with, I could sit in the corner and shoot them into the corner all day and be having a blast. Because recoil feels that cool to have in an airsoft gun. So they've announced some new ones. I don't know how much I'm really allowed to talk about, so I'm going to be a little scarce in the details, which is why I wanted to get this one out of the way first. But suffice to say, you guys need to go check it out. There is a Facebook video that we shared this morning on the Airsoft GI main Facebook page. It kind of covers it, lets you see what they look like, and hot damn do these things look cool. Let me tell you, I don't get excited about M4s very often. I mean, M4s are cool, you know, it's nice to get hyped about performance. Oh my god, that lens flare, it's like J.J. Abrams is directing my vlog right now. But these things look awesome. Like, legitimately, KWA has decided to kind of step outside of what they usually do, because normally their guns are very mil-spec, very law enforcement style, very military style. They have a certain look to them. Like, you can look at a KWA gun and not even see the logo and be like, yep, that's an SR10. That's an SR12. That's an RM4A1. Like you can tell. Like, they have a look. And these kind of break that trend a little bit. Really, really slick looking handguards. All around around just awesome performance, and I can't wait to find out more about these things. But that's enough of that. I know what you guys really want to talk about. Let's talk about that big fat announcement Elite Force made yesterday. Oh boy, they teased that they got the license a couple of weeks ago to Glock, because let's be honest, you guys didn't know what I was talking about. It's Glocks. But yesterday they teased pictures, which I'm going to insert here. These pistols are phenomenal looking. So those of you who know me know I am a big time Glock shooter. When it comes to real firearms, I carry a Glock. When I'm out places where I carry, I shoot Glocks all the time. It's my favorite brand of pistol. My wife frequently accuses me of being a Glock fanboy. I get a lot of crap for it. In fact, actually, she was briefly concerned that I had been invaded by alien body snatchers when I bought my P09, because it wasn't a Glock, and she was very confused. Fantastic. I own probably 3 or 4 Glocks now that I keep around the house for various purposes. I own more than that, but the stuff I keep readily available. Huge fan of Glock. So naturally, what was the first thing I did when I saw that Glock picture? Walt, our CEO, texted me and goes, "Hey, did you guys see this? Like, I know you're off today, Dave, because I'm off on Fridays." And he's like, you need to see this." So I take a look, and naturally, that's the first thing I do. I whip out my real one and I take a look and start comparing notes. Let me tell you, these things look pretty darn close. There was a picture floating around yesterday of a Glock 19. That's going to be the one that you guys would have saw a second ago. And outside of the orange tip, like picture-to-picture comparison, looks almost exactly like my real one. In fact, I think we're going to have to do a comparison video once the real one comes out. Or, well, not the real one's already out, but once the Airsoft one comes out. I was a little disappointed to see that they were not the new Gen 5 Glocks, but that's okay. I guess maybe my hopes were set a little too high. I shouldn't be surprised, but definitely a little disappointed. But licensed Airsoft Glocks is a big deal. For those of you who don't know, Glock has been very anti-Airsoft license for a long time. Those of you who follow Airsoft things on the webosphere likely know about Papa Glock and their famous lawsuits in the industry, or the notorious C&D letters, cease and desist letters that they send to people because they're selling unlicensed replicas. So illegally licensed, or just looks very similar. Glock has a unique trademark in that it's actually on the shape of their product. So it's not just the Glock logo. Like sometimes, now my legal understanding here is fuzzy, but my understanding is that it gets a lot harder to fight for some companies if all they're doing is copying the pistol and not putting the logo on there. And then you have some companies like, take Beretta for example, where the right stuff is a little bit different. And a lot of people can make M9s, you just can't use the Beretta name. But with Glock, it didn't matter. If it looks like a Glock, they were suing you. Like if you made a Glock water gun suit, you're making Glock Airsoft guns stateside, you'd get sued. Nobody does that, but if they did, they'd get sued. And they have been very anti doing anything Airsoft related for a very long time. I'm not sure what changed their mind. In fact, actually, headcanon going forward, I'm just going to be convinced that Cliff at Elite Force is just the most charming son of a gun you've ever met, which I know to be true because I've met Cliff. He's a very nice guy. And he just managed to do the correct number of ritual sacrifices the night before they met with Glock and convinced them to give them the license, which is awesome. I also think they couldn't have gone to a better brand. Like, if we're being completely honest, in terms of putting out good gas blowback pistols, Elite Force has a huge pedigree of awesome gas blowback pistols. So I don't, they haven't told me who the OEM is yet. I think the information's out there, but full disclosure, I have not actually read official confirmation from anybody. I think we're supposed to get some official statement from Elite Force today. I have my guesses as to who it's probably going to be, but either way, it doesn't matter who they pick. They can pick literally anybody who makes pistols for them, and it's going to turn out good. This Elite Force 1911 is a workhorse. That Beretta, actually, for a full auto pistol, runs surprisingly well. The PPQs that are OEM by BFC are pretty solid. You guys know I have one of the Cybergun FN45 that's made by BFC as well, and that thing runs like a champ. That's kind of like my go-to. I just don't want to deal with reloading my sidearm today pistols. The magazines for it are so darn large. So it doesn't matter who Elite Force uses as one of their OEMs that they kind of they have a couple that they go to. It's going to be an awesome pistol. more importantly, Elite Force is a really badass reliability testing thing that they do that I think is really cool. So their testing standard for these things is going to be super high, which means we don't have to worry about something coming to market and it not being ready. In my experience, since I've started working for GI, I've worked with Cliff at least relatively closely, so I'm familiar with the process enough. I don't want to get into detail on it. That's their business. And I think actually, for those of you that are big YouTube guys, Dials46, Nigel, who works for Elite Force, covers it in one of his videos when they first released all the announcements about Glock, and they were getting blown up by questions like, oh, who's it going to be? Who's making it? When's it coming out? How much is it going to cost? And that's the next point I want to touch on, cost. So this thing's going to be sub $200. That's awesome. If it can come into the $150 to $175 range, that's actually the price range they hit, I think it's going to be a hot seller. I think it's going to be an awesome gun. I know I'm going to pick one up. I would love to have one for training. That's the whole reason why I, am excited about this. Those of you that know me know I like to do competition shooting, and USPSA and IDPA. And one of the downsides to working at an airsoft store is that you're there all the time. So I don't really have time to go out to the range any day I want and just go blow through loads and loads of ammo to go train. So having a Airsoft Glock, I can do a lot of practice in my apartment and not really have to worry. If I got to get real crazy, just go bum my parents' garage for the weekend, and just set up some targets and go that way, and not have to expend all this money on 9mm and range time and driving out to the middle of nowhere because the area where we're at is middle of the dense city. It's not like I can walk off my back porch and just start popping off rounds. So this is a really exciting prospect for all of you guys who are big Glock aficionados. Those of you guys who like doing mil-spec kits, those are starting to be a really common thing. I read earlier the other day that the Marine Corps is actually looking at optioning Glock as a possible sidearm, I think, for MARSOC. Don't quote me on that, but it could be a big thing. So all around, just super exciting news all across the industry. One last one that I want to touch on is Z-Shot, actually. So last week, Z-Shot made a huge announcement with the live stream. I mean, everybody's kind of known it was coming, but we didn't know what they were doing with their licensed Cry replica airsoft gear. So right now they're currently in the works to put out a JPC 2.0 and a replica ABS. And I'm horrible with acronyms. I should know what ABS stands for because I'm a big Cry fan, but I actually don't. So somebody in the comments is going to be like, Dave, you're an idiot. It stands for this. That's fine. You guys do what you want. Internet trolls going to do what internet trolls do. But they made a big live stream where they started talking about it and showing it off, and conveniently one of the nice benefits to me having Fridays off is I was able to watch the whole thing, which was really cool. So Wallace and the guys at Z-Shot were showing off their new vests, and holy cow, these things look awesome. I own a real JPC, an actual Cry Precision one, and looking at the pictures that I've seen and what I saw on live stream of the JPC 2.0 that they have, granted mine's a 1.0, but they're pretty darn similar. Holy crap. I would be hard pressed to tell them apart at a distance, and from what they're saying in the live stream, that's kind of the point. Unless you know what you're looking for with tags, it's pretty hard to indistinguish, which is the whole point of replica gear, and that's awesome. They've got a year warranty, which is bonkers. Wallace made the joke that he was like, yeah, we debated offering a 0-day warranty because you wouldn't need it. We didn't think anybody would take us up on the offer, and he's right. Let's be real. If somebody said, oh, there's no warranty because it's too good, we're going to be like, Wallace, you're full of it. But I think it was awesome. It's super exciting. I have definitely got my eyes on one of those ABSs. This is going to be a really, really awesome thing for the gear community here. Hopefully we'll be carrying this stuff in store at the GI store. I'm looking forward to it. I know we've been talking about it through our internal company stuff for a little while now. A lot of us are big gear hards like you guys are. So this is exciting news. Anyway, that kind of wraps it up for today's vlog, guys. I hope you guys go check it out. If you guys need some information as reminders, hey, go check out KWA's Facebook page. Go check out our Facebook page. We link to the same video. And check out the Ronin, which is going to be a super cool, awesome line of AEGs from KWA. Stay tuned for some more info about the Elite Force Glocks. I know we're going to have pre-orders up for those as soon as humanly possible. Anyways, that does it for me today for the vlog, unless I add on more stuff to the end here, which you'll see in just a second. So safety's on, fellas. We'll see you guys next time.